Hello and welcome to PTV's post-game show after the Seton Hall men's basketball team beat the Lincoln Lions 82-55. The Pirates really stormed away with it in the second half, scoring almost 40 points and limiting Lincoln to only, I believe it was 26 points. So their defense really stepped up in the second half. Could you feel the energy kind of shift in that second half, like immediately when they came out?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I had said at the halftime show, they're a second-half team. Shaw went in the locker room with them, lit them up, gave them a nice little pep talk, nice little smack on the back, and just got them fired up. They came out swinging. Their offense was a lot more fluid, I felt, a lot more aggressive, like I had said. And their defense really dialed up. They were getting shot clock violations. They were getting a lot more blocks, a lot more steals. Just all around, they played so much better the second half.
Absolutely. I mean, we could see with them, for me personally, Femi Odukale and Alamir Dawes, right when that second half started, you could feel that they were so much more energized and they were playing harder. I mean, the second I saw them step on the court, I'm like, okay, these guys, whatever Shaw's message was in the locker room, they took it to heart, and they're going to really step up the second half, which they did. And speaking of defense, Casey and Defo, 6 blocked shots. None of his shots were blocked. He finished with 17 points, which was the most on the team, 7 rebounds, and then the 6 blocks I just mentioned. That is why Shaheen Holloway wanted him from St. Peter's, because that's the kind of defensive presence that he brings. 6 blocks, controlled the paint completely, him and Tyrese Samuel, who is a beast on the boards. How was Casey and Defo's performance a key to winning this game for Seton Hall?
Casey, through and through, is a leader on and off the court. He just has that. He has that kind of energy to him, that kind of vibe to him. He really kind of like dictates how the team plays. Each member of the team has their highlight in their moments, but when he plays good, everyone knows it. This game, he just second half came through swinging harder than any game I've seen him play to this season. He just came from on all sides, just defense, offense, rebounding, everywhere. He was just all over the court tonight, and I love Casey. I think this is a really good highlight for him. I want to see this in the Rutgers game. I want to see this in conference playoffs. If he can play like this for the rest of the season, like he just played tonight, there's no doubt within my mind we could be a tournament contending team.
This was absolutely Casey and Defo's best game as a Pirate. And the Pirates, they fixed a lot of the problems they had in the first half. The most glaring one to me was their free throw percentage. I mean, we've been talking all year so far about how the Pirates are a pretty rough free throw shooting team, but they came out second half, shot 15 of 19 from the line, and we were able to hear from Coach Shaw in the post-game presser. It's never a problem getting to a line. It's getting to the line. It's a problem converting when they're at the line. And in the second half of this game, they seem to have that figured out.
Yeah, it also did help a little bit that Lincoln wasn't really on their best performance with free throws either. They shot well below 40% at best, but. Yeah. Furthermore, in that interview, Coach Shaw, someone asked a question about Jaquan Sanders, and I know you had brought it up in the pregame show how he was a player to look at, and he played according to Shaw. He had told him he was like, get selfish. He wants him to get aggressive. He wants him to shoot the ball. He wants him to move around. He wants him to just be everywhere. And I think that's really good. I like that Shaw wants to get these freshmen involved. He wants them to start putting up good numbers, get nice little stat lines, and try and prove themselves.
As one of the few young guys on this team, Jaquan Sanders kind of taking shots and eventually making shots and proving that he is a starting caliber, or not maybe a starting caliber player, but he deserves more minutes even at his age is absolutely key. We've seen it happen with Tay Davis, who, I mean, already he's getting like 20 minutes a night and he's only a freshman too. So the future is very, very bright for Jaquan Sanders. But speaking of the future of this team, so they go to Rutgers on, I think it's Sunday, play a very, very tough Rutgers team who just held, I think they were a top 10 team, Indiana, to under 50 points. That's going to be an extremely tough game, and I don't think they can have kind of the first half that they had today where they were neck and neck with a Lincoln team that, although they're a good team, they're an underrated team, it's a team that you shouldn't have a first half like that against. What are some keys do you think that Seton Hall can take this game and improve on, so that way it's not a close game versus Rutgers?
The main thing I see in all these games when we come out in the first half is that we're just not playing that aggressive. It just seems really complacent and seems really lazy. There's not a lot of passion behind it. And then, obviously, they go in the locker room, see, we should not be playing like this, shot lights them up, and they come out swinging, and they do a lot better. I think they need to go into the Rutgers game with a dog kind of mentality. They need to go in there and be like, we want to dominate all facets of the court. Rebounds, assists, scoring, defense, all of it. They need to go into the Rutgers game not just swinging. They need to be firing on all cylinders if they want a good chance of beating a very good Rutgers team this year.
Yeah, and with Kadari Richmond and Trey Jackson and Dre Davis all not playing today, I mean, they had a lot of scoring, assisting, and rebounding just sitting on their bench. So it's really good that they had a monster second half that shows that they can rebound from adversity and when it matters most, because again, 4-4, this is when you really need to pick it up out of conference play so you can get that momentum going into conference play. I mean, their first game is against a Providence team who is still really good and has a really good head coach in Ed Cooley. So they need to get that positive momentum, need to get those reps, need to get that experience, so that way when they do have a pretty tough Big East slate, that way they're prepared for it.
Absolutely, 100% agree.
All right, well, I think that'll do it for us for PTV. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good night.